And I'm back. Guess who just made the Kessel Run in 15 parsecs? That's probably every smuggler's favorite speed record to brag about, and it's one that confuses the uninitiated every time. Yeah, we all know that a parsec is a unit of distance, not time, and any spacer worth their spice could tell you that records for making the Kessel Run are measured by how close your ship can get to the moor and survive. That's some seriously hazardous business. Coming within even 20 parsecs of a black hole cluster is courting death, never mind 15 or closer. Many of the people who try it don't come back alive. And the moor isn't just dangerous because of the black holes. There are all sorts of dangers on the Kessel Run, some of them ordinary and some of them unexplainable. And I've seen just about all of them.
Attention, Sergeant on deck!
Pretty much the whole Kessel sector is full of astrogational hazards of some kind or another. The Moor Nebula and their associated dangers take up the bulk of the region, and a lot of what's left is covered by Ashteri's Cloud, another dangerous nebula. There's only two major hyperspace routes leading through the sector, which wind through relatively safe pockets of space. The big one is the Triellus trade route, the Hutt Highway, which runs all the way around the back half of Hutt space and acts as the informal edge of the slice. At Formos, the Triellus intersects with the Pabol Sliherion, which cuts through the nebula on its way into Hutt space. The major stops on the Triellus in the Kessel sector are all spice distribution hubs. Formos is the big one, but there's also Dralken, Renok, and the Lexus systems, plus Obadiah a little ways off the route. You get a bit more variety on the Pabol Sliherion. In Japan and Mandarin both distribute into Hutt space, but Randa, the worlds of the Aenid system, Krishella 3, and Little Kessel are all proper colony worlds with little connection to the spice trade, despite their location. There's also Honogir off route from Little Kessel, but there's nothing worth going all the way out there for. The only planet in the sector that really matters, of course, is Kessel itself. Kessel's a misshapen rock of a planet with a tenuous atmosphere and very little on its surface, circling a blue-white Type B. Most of the settlements here are mines, because the only reason anyone ever go to Kessel would be for glitterstim, the rarest and most potent variety of spice in the galaxy. They actually mine the stuff from fossilized energy spiderwebs, if you can believe it, though I'm sure most of the glitbiters out there neither know nor care. Used to be the mines on Kessel were operated by a volunteer force, back when the Republic ran them directly. But then they contracted the Colicoids to run the place, and now with the Republic on the decline, it's fallen into the hands of the Pike Syndicate, who've had a heavy hand in the underground glitterstim trade ever since it started. The mines are mostly staffed by slaves now, I hear. Not a place you want to end up, that's for sure. Now, glitterstim is super valuable, so Kessel sees a lot of ships looking to haul it off-world, legitimate traders and smugglers alike. The problem is, it's a pain in the arse to actually get to Kessel. The only official route is the Kessel Trade Corridor, which starts at the storm-soaked hellhole Zerm on the Pabol Sliherion and winds its way through the nebula to Kessel. But this route is heavily patrolled. The Republic Judicials used to have a fleet out there before they brought the Colicoids in, and now you've got Pikes and Hutts watching every ship that goes down the corridor. That's why we smugglers started making Kessel runs. There's an alternate route from Kessel, as you surely know, which runs out to Formos through the nebula. However, it's one of the most dangerous routes in the galaxy. Navigating the Moor Nebula is tricky enough on its own. Apart from the huge clouds of ionized gas fracking with your sensors, you've also got loads of young, hot, and very bright blue stars out there, which concentrate in arms that wrap through the nebula. It can be blindingly bright, and sometimes navigating it is barely better than guesswork, even if you're traveling on an established leg of the Kessel Run. The run cuts a tortured course through the nebula from Formos, dodging star clusters, and especially dense or radioactive bits of nebula. Only the most seasoned pilots can make it through, and that's just the beginning of the Kessel Run. Once you get close to Kessel itself, you reach what we smugglers call the pit. There's two big walls of nebula that you can neither pass through or route around without getting yourself killed, and in the tiny gap between them is a super dense asteroid field. Smugglers heading to Formos from Kessel, who'd have the worst part of the run behind them, sometimes let their guard down when they get to the pit and end up splattering themselves all over some asteroid. It's just as dangerous coming the other way too, but the pit is only the second most dangerous part of the Kessel Run. It's after the pit that you come to the really hazardous bit, which is the maw. The maw is a cluster of black holes, a phenomenon so strange that most scientists believe that it can't possibly be natural. I shouldn't really need to tell you that flying close to a black hole is pretty much suicide. Odds are it will tear you and your ship to pieces, even at long range. Unlike what most people think, it's unlikely that you'll get sucked right in, but you'll probably become just another part of the black hole's accretion disk. The accretion disk is a hazard in itself, especially in the maw, where they're mostly composed of ionized gases from the surrounding nebula. But the maw is a whole frackin' black hole cluster, which makes it even more dangerous. Most spaces stay on the safe side and don't get any closer than 20 parsecs to it. The daring ones, like myself, try their luck at getting closer, since that can make a Kessel Run significantly faster, which means more profit for moi. Now, all most spacers know about the maw is that it's on the edge of the Kessel system and part of the Kessel Run, but it's actually much more than just a navigational hazard, if the stories about it are to be believed. I've heard from a few spacers that there are stable routes between some of the black holes in the maw. I'll believe that when I see it, but there's plenty of rumors of hidden weapons development facilities hidden in the maw, cut off from the rest of the galaxy. I don't know if that's true, but the maw's certainly a good place to hide something, provided you find a way to make sure the black holes don't end up hiding it forever. I can't stress enough how strong their gravitational pulls are. The Kessel system itself is slowly being dragged in fact. But secret weapons plants aren't the only things that are supposedly hidden in the maw. I mentioned earlier that most scientists believe that there's no way the maw is natural. A natural cluster of black holes would be unstable, with the various black holes merging or ejecting each other from the cluster through sheer force of gravity. But the maw is surprisingly stable, and the most common theory is that it was built on purpose by the Celestials. This theory is backed up by the fact that the black holes overlap perfectly to completely block access to whatever lies at the center of the cluster. Nothing can escape a black hole once it's past the event horizon. Not matter, not light, and not information either. Usually this effect only applies to what's actually beyond the event horizon. Light that's beyond a black hole, for example, will be wrapped around it by gravitational lensing. But what's unique about the maw is that the black holes overlap so that whatever's in the center of the cluster, if anything, is completely cut off from the universe. Nothing from the outside galaxy can get in, or see in, or get any sort of information about the inside. And the opposite will apply to anything on the inside trying to reach or observe anything on the outside. The story goes that the nature of the maw is so unlikely and specific that it must have been built to contain something, to cut it off from the rest of the universe. There's all manner of theories as to what's at the heart of the maw, but the most detailed story tells of a single lonely world and its parent star banished from the universe, from the Celestials. It's supposed to be the home of some primeval god of chaos, a being whose escape would doom the galaxy. And as a final implication that the nature of the maw conveys, one that makes this story all the more unsettling. If there is indeed such an entity at the heart of the maw, then even the Celestials could only contain it, not defeat it. But I don't know if I believe that story. The galaxy's enough of a mess without there being some all-powerful chaos god hiding in the maw, waiting for the chance to make it worse. Maybe the real Chaos God is the wars the Republic started on the way, you know? Well, that's enough for one night. I'm gonna put Nar Shaddaa behind me for the foreseeable future, but I'm sure I'll see you soon, all the same. Thank you.